Hey everyone, we're sitting here at this open house with Nana Hovsepyan with Vegas Realty experts. Woohoo! And we're going to talk a little bit about lending because there's a lot of misconceptions about what's going on in lending right now. I know it's a crazy time, but hi Nana.
Hi.
Thank you for visiting my open house.
Of course.
And,
my pleasure.
So I know there's a lot of misconceptions about FHA lending. Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So a lot of people are kind of, with FHA, I get a lot of people saying, oh, but I can't do FHA because I'm not a first-time home buyer, which is not correct. You can, as long as you don't own another house, another property within 100 miles distance.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, you could had an FHA loan years ago and you sold your property. Right. You could still do an FHA loan. A lot of people think, okay, no, I can't do an FHA loan, and other lenders, loan officers don't educate these buyers to understand that no, you can do an FHA loan. Especially, okay, if you do have another house, and if it's another state, you're moving from state to state, or it's 100 miles difference between the houses, then you can do an FHA loan, as long as you can do that and also have reasoning that you're moving for a job.
Okay, all right. Well, that's cool. And with FHA, it's 3.5% down.
With FHA, it's 3.5% down. Correct. Okay. You do have to have, if you're self-employed, you have to have 2-year tax returns. Okay. If you're W-2, 2-year W-2s, unless you have other source of income that you show on your tax return, then you would need your tax returns, 2-year tax returns.
Okay, and so why would somebody pick between conventional and FHA, 3% down, 3.5% down on FHA? Why would somebody go with the conventional over an FHA?
So a lot of times the 3% down conventional is when you have a self-employed borrower and they've been self-employed 5+ years. Okay. And they're able to do like latest taxes, the latest year, and you can do 1-year tax returns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you know, they don't have to do the 2-year tax returns because they may have had the previous year, their taxes might have not been good, and the
that's
current
good.
year, their taxes are great, and they're able to do the conventional with 1-year taxes and 3% down.
That's great. I know what you do is you review their information and you try to guide them in the right direction as to what the best loan is for them.
Absolutely.
So they might come in and say, I want to do a conventional, and you might review everything and say, well, I think an FHA is going to be better for you.
It is.
That kind of thing.
And what I do is I don't do like the, most of the time I don't do the pre-qualification, I do the pre-approval.
That's beautiful.
The pre-qualification is, you know, they still look at your, you know, liabilities, your income and everything, but they don't review it.
Right, they don't actually have it in their hands.
They don't. What I do, I'm like, I'm going to pre-approve you. So I'm going to need your tax returns, pay stubs. You know, I won't pull credit, but I'll go over with them what's on their credit, and I will fully approve them with their bank statements, their taxes, and give them an actual pre-approval saying, okay, with the current information you provided and the current documentations I've reviewed, this is the max that you qualify for. And I can guide them, and I mean, I will advise them, okay, well, you can do the conventional loan. These are the, you know, positives. So you can do the FHA loan, and these are the positives. And ultimately, they decide, but I give them an option of, okay, you have choices. You can do either one. With first-time home buyers, a lot of people tend to choose to do FHA because the rates are lower. And then the difference between conventional and FHA is conventional, your debt to income ratio, meaning whatever debt you have versus what income you make monthly, you can do only 45%.
Okay, that's the difference. So if your debts are higher compared to what you make.
FHA is you can go up to 52% debt to income ratio. So you have a lot more options with FHA because you can have, per se, you can have more debt, then you have more.
Yeah, you're allowed a
buying
little bit
power.
more,
Yes.
a little more debt in the FHA
you
circle.
have more buying power because of the debt to income ratio.
Right.
So
So I think a lot of people that they don't have their down payment. They're like, I can't buy a house. I don't have any money saved up. So you just saved a client of mine. Well, it wasn't my client. It was my listing, but the buyer on the other side and the agent was so great.
yes.
You were able to do a down payment assistance program for this buyer,
Yeah.
and it saved the deal, and
It did.
everybody was happy at the end of the day. And so what people don't know is you can do down payment assistance with both conventional and FHA. Can you explain that?
So with the down payment assistance, again, there is that misconception out there that you have to be a first-time home buyer. You don't.
Right, I
There's-
love that.
There's different kind of down payment assistance. There's one that you do have to be a first-time home buyer. And I actually, before I go on, I want to explain what a first-time home buyer is. So you could have owned a property 3 years ago. As long as you don't have your name on a deed or you don't have a loan under your name within 3 years,
Within the
you're
3
still
years.
considered a
First-time home buyer. So you just
that's
could not
it.
have owned anything for the last 3 years.
Yep.
You are a first-time home buyer.
Then you're considered a first-time home buyer. Yes.
Okay.
But these down payment assistance, like I said, there are different kind of down payment assistance. There's ones that are for first-time home buyers. Again, they have a different. You have to qualify within their guidelines, obviously, and then the down payment assistance. The percentage of it is determined on, again, what rate you choose, because these down payment assistance, they do dictate their rate.
Okay.
So
Are they higher rates?
they are higher
Typically?
than
Okay.
typically, yeah,
I'm guessing
than
they would-
normal. But
they
you
would
do
be.
have a choice. I mean, with both conventional and FHA, you have the choice to do 2%, 3%, or 4%.
Okay. Okay. Down payment.
Down payment, yes. But again, it depends on the rate and depends what you qualify for. Again, there is a qualification process and the debt to income ratio that you have to qualify for these.
Do you have to buy in a certain area?
There are some that is in a certain
There are
area.
certain programs
There are
for that?
certain programs
Okay.
that are a certain area. There's also, most of them have a household income limit.
Okay, yeah.
So there's ones that, whoever, like however many people are in the household, and especially if they're employed, we have, even though if they're not going to be on the loan, doesn't matter. They're in the household. You have to count their income as well. There's their annual income
Okay.
as well. So
Got
there's
it.
the annual income limitation as well. And so there's location, annual income qualification. So there's different variations to these down payment programs. And there's ones that, there's the teachers down payment assistance, there's firefighters, and then there's the culinary down payment assistance. There's different ones. It's just, again, it's discussing and seeing what you qualify for. But if you're not in any of those fields, especially in Las Vegas, there's a lot of people that are in the
Culinary, yes.
because the waiters, bartenders, all of that,
Right.
they qualify. I've done actually I've done a culinary loan, two of them like a couple of years back. But now again, different programs.
Yeah.
You just have to be open to discussing it. And
Well, I think the reason I like talking to you about it is because there's a lot of lenders that won't do that. They won't do the down payment assistance loans for whatever reason, but you do them
I do.
to help, because you, as you said to me earlier, you would feel really bad not really helping people with this.
Exactly. We're all here to help people. It's what is it? It's the American dream to own a home.
Absolutely.
And we're here to help. I'm here to help. I wasn't born here. I'm an immigrant, so I would, even if just a regular person, it's I want to be able to help them.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. It's like, okay, I actually put these people in a home. So
Why would you go to anyone else? I love it. That's really great. And one last thing I wanted to talk about was self-employed or 1099 like me. What are the requirements for that?
Well, depending what kind of loan you want to do. And I'll touch base on the loan programs as well. Besides like the traditional, conventional FHA loan, and then VA loan as well. But there's other loan programs out there, especially for the self-employed borrower like yourself.
Right.
The 1099, there's obviously if you there is a requirement as well. The down payment is a little higher. It is minimum of 15%, but there's the bank statement loans.
I was wondering about that.
The profit and
Bank
loss
statement.
loans.
Okay, no stated income?
There is stated
There is?
income, but the stated income, that's the DSCR loan. It's for investment property purposes.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
There are some, but mainly it's the DSCR that I do. There's not a lot of people are doing the stated
Yeah,
right
back
now.
in the day, they did that, and we got into big trouble doing
They did.
those.
I was underwriting those.
Yeah, those put us in a bit
In
of
a really bad position,
in
yes.
08 and 09 when we saw the crash.
The crash. Because people were being put in loans that
Lending
they
has
couldn't
become-
qualify for.
Right, they were just stating they made a certain amount and getting these loans that they weren't even qualified for. So I know a lot of people talk about the market's going to crash. You know, we're gonna see that repeated, but it's not because it's all different now.
I don't
Back
think
then
so.
it was.
I'm against that. I don't believe
That theory,
so.
yeah, I don't-
Because
We're in
on
a
my
different
end,
position now.
We are.
We're
On
not-
my end, it's very hard to qualify for a loan. And then guidelines change every day. You have to keep up with it, but it's stricter.
Yes,
I know,
and it needs to be.
Yeah, I was in the field back in those days. Completely different. It's like I will argue with that person that says it's going to be a crash. I'm like, no, it's not going to crash because
I was in the business back then.
Yeah,
I was doing lending for 4 years. So I remember. I never did a stated income. I never did a stated income.
And I had loan officers. I was underwriting those loans.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, I know they don't make this much, but
Right.
this is what the program was. The stated
it
income.
was.
It was, but it's not like that now. It's very, very hard to qualify. And people don't understand that after I close a loan, because I don't service my loans, we sell it to
Right,
the
'cause you're a broker.
secondary. Yes, I'm not a broker. I'm a direct lender, but
Direct
I don't
lender,
I don't service.
but
my
you're able to
loans.
broker
We
out to different.
sell it to
right,
the investor.
right. Gotcha.
But at the back end, they come back even when the loan is closed. What they require afterwards. It's not
over once
It's
we
not
close.
over once it's
I was a
closed
little surprised about that.
until
Yeah.
the loan sells. Even after that, there is a post audit. So people don't understand that
Doesn't
because they
end.
don't see the back end.
Right.
They don't realize. Okay, well, they want this document. After several months, they want this document. It's very hard right now to qualify, and so I don't see the crash happening.
I don't see it either.
Because you don't get yourself in those kind of loans. It's very hard.
I mean, never
to
say
get
never. I get
I mean,
that.
never,
Like,
yeah,
I can't predict
we
the
don't
future,
know.
but
I definitely
I don't
not.
feel based on statistics and based on the history, it
Yep.
doesn't appear that we're going to run into that problem. I know it's a
don't
little,
think so either.
a little tougher now,
It is.
but
I mean, with the rates and everything, but you were in the business back then. The rates were in what, 10s, 13s back then?
yeah, I did a lot of bankruptcy buyouts.
Yeah.
So those were at 9 and 12%.
So
I don't think they have those now.
I mean, we're not going to see the 10s, the 13s, but even now, I mean, people are like, oh my God, it's so
rates are
high.
high, right.
Because they got used to the rates when we had like the 2s and the 3s in COVID time.
Yeah.
You know, but the average rate back was what, 5.5,
Yeah.
4, high 4s. So
Right.
that was the average rate. We will get there.
I think
can't
eventually
say
maybe.
when, unfortunately.
And you can buy your rate down too.
Exactly.
So and a lot of people
And-
don't know that you can buy the rate down.
They don't, and sometimes, and I tell my customers, like, I'll give you, once we're ready to lock your loan, I'll give you the option. Sometimes it doesn't make sense for you to buy down your rate. You can keep that money.
Exactly.
Just, save it, because it's not gonna make a huge difference on
In
your
your payment.
payment.
Exactly.
If that $30 is gonna make it or break it, then absolutely.
Right, right.
I mean,
I
especially
agree.
if you're getting, seller credits, then absolutely utilize that and buy down the rate.
And I think that's what's important is when you're working with buyers, you want to make sure that buyers out there, you want to make sure you partner with a good real estate agent and a good lender that's going to be able to negotiate for you, because you can not only get the down payment assistance, but you can also get the seller to contribute to help either buy down your rate or help with some of the closing costs. I mean, there's so many things, but you gotta have the right team. And that's why I think Nana and I, we've done some business together. She's fantastic, and I wanted her to share some of the loan programs with you. And I think we're gonna next year is gonna be great.
It will be.
And it is going into a buyer's market, and I guess we would say it's a buyer's market. So
It
for
is.
you buyers, you got room to negotiate now. So take advantage of it. Thank you, Nana.
Of course.
Appreciate you
Thank you
sharing
for
your
having me.
knowledge with us.
Anytime.
And we'll do this again.
Sounds good.
Thank you.